Hey guys, what's going on? James here. There's no background for this one because this is a pretty darn important news piece. The Chicago Bears have traded for Oakland Raiders pass rusher Khalil Mack. Now, right now, the expected compensation is at least two first-round picks, with possibly a little bit more thrown in there for good measure and whatnot. So that's the apparent trade that's been made right now. Nothing's 100% confirmed yet, but it sounds like it's going to happen. So let's talk about this. I want to talk about things for the Chicago Bears first, and then I'll talk about things for the Oakland Raiders. So let's get into the Chicago Bears viewpoint of it first. So getting into the Chicago Bears, they've had so much turnover this year, and their offseason just got even more wilder than it already was. They gave up a lot of draft picks to draft Mitchell Trubisky last year. And then they went in this offseason, they signed some new offensive firepower for him in the terms of a couple of offensive linemen. They brought in Allen Robinson and Trey Burton, presumably being their top two targets. You have Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen at the running back position, and things were looking pretty good for the Bears' offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, things were still looking very good as well. They brought back, I believe it was Kyle Fuller. They brought back Kyle Fuller. You still have Prince Amukamara, and you have a couple of slot cornerbacks there that are very good as well. And then in terms of defensive linemen, you still had Pernell McPhee as well as a couple of other guys there, and things were looking pretty good. The linebacker position is still, still very good. And even in the secondary, you have Adrian Amos at safety. So things were looking pretty good on the defense. Then they go out and trade for Khalil Mack. Honestly, it makes all the sense in the world. A lot of people thought that giving up two first-round draft picks was giving up too much, that's way too much. And a lot of people countered that by saying, well, the Saints gave up two first-round draft picks to draft Marcus Davenport, and I kind of agree with that. I've talked about this a lot with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and how I thought it would be too much, but at the same time, I also thought that they weren't exactly the right team to do it because they didn't necessarily have the money to offer Khalil Mack this long-term, probably $24 million a year type of contract that he would want from a team. The Bears, on the other hand, have tons of cap money. They're not paying a franchise quarterback yet, and they don't really have a whole ton of guys making a whole ton of money. A lot of them are either on a cheaper deal or on a rookie deal, so they had the money to work with. And they're going to be I imagine they're going to be keeping Khalil Mack around for a very long time. And the price of two first-round draft picks as well as somebody else, that's fine. That's not a big deal. You're getting, to me, if you can make that move, make it, because you're getting a top 10, arguably a top 5 defensive player overall in this league. You're arguably getting the top pass rusher in the league, hands down. Now, there's some debate about Von Miller being the best, but for my money, it's Khalil Mack's really freaking good. I don't know where he's going to play in terms of linebacker or in defensive end. I'm not too familiar with the Bears, whether or not they run a 3-4 or 4-3. Last I remember, they ran a 4-3, so he'll probably be playing outside pass rushing linebacker. So the price tag of two first-round picks and then something else, that's fine in my opinion. The Bears have the cap space to make it work where they're not going to lose other stuff as well as the trade pieces, so that's fine. You already have your franchise guy Mitchell Trubisky anyway, so it's fine. You're kind of in this state of, all right, yeah, let's really go for it. Let's really go and make these playoffs and really try and make some noise. And this was definitely the type of move that'll do that. So the Bears are definitely looking up right now. They're definitely looking up. If they were right here, they're definitely they're up there now. They're looking good. What else could they have given besides the two first-round draft picks? I honestly don't know. I assume it's a player, but what player would that be? A couple of people have suspected that it could be Danny Trevathan. I think that's possible considering how weak the Raiders were at the I guess I should say, the linebacker position. Could be somebody else. I don't know. Maybe a piece in the secondary. It all just depends. I think a linebacker is a good guess. I would definitely say it could be a linebacker for sure. But the two first-round draft picks, that's big compensation, but whatever, you're getting one of the best players in the league, so it's chill. I'm looking at this from the side of the Raiders, though. So a lot of people, players included at this point for the Raiders and Raiders fans and Bucs fans, Bucs fans, they're really saying, John, what the heck are you doing? Because John Gruden's made a lot of moves this offseason that have had a lot of people scratching their heads. He brought in some veterans like Derek Johnson and Jordy Nelson. He got rid of some other people. He made some people take some pay cuts and have threatened to get rid of some other players. And now he got rid of the best player on the Oakland Raiders team. So what's going on? What's John Gruden's plan here? That's a tough call to make, because when he came with Tampa Bay and he was given control of the roster, he kind of did a similar thing eventually where, you know, if he feels that a player is either asking for too much money or if he feels that a player just isn't worth that type of money, he ships him off. And this is kind of a similar situation that we're seeing here. John Gruden feels that while Khalil Mack, I'm sure he thinks that Khalil Mack is a very good player, he feels that he isn't worth the $24+ million that Khalil Mack is asking for, so he ships him off. The Raiders knew what they were signing up for whenever they got John Gruden, and that he would make moves like this. I think there was even a report that came out that the owners were unsure. You know, they weren't easy of the idea of trading him. But John Gruden has the final say, essentially. He's on a 10-year, $100 million contract. He pretty much has full control of the roster at this point. So, it's John Gruden. Whatever John Gruden says goes, essentially. I don't think that's the best idea, but it's what's happening right now for the Raiders. Do I think they should have traded Khalil Mack? No, but it doesn't hurt that you're getting 2 first-round draft picks and a player. But again, you're giving up a top 5 defensive player in the league, so, you know, whatever. I think this also goes to say that John Gruden isn't afraid to get rid of anybody. He's not afraid to get rid of anybody. He just got rid of the best player on the team. Doesn't matter. John will get rid of anybody. I'm fearful for Derek Carr and some other players, Bruce Irvin. It's a head-scratching move, definitely. You gotta assume the Bears won. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter what the Bears gave up, in my opinion. They've won. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do with those draft picks. Maybe when everything's is said and done, maybe Khalil Mack will have fallen off the face of the earth and whatnot, and the Raiders will have won the day. But right now, it's looking like the Bears hit a home run with this, regardless of what they had to pay up. I know it's a lot, but you know, it's worth it, in my opinion. It's definitely worth it. Moving forward, what does this mean for John Gruden and future personnel decisions? Anything goes. Anything goes. Literally anything could happen at this point. I don't know. I can't tell you, man. I can't tell you. Somebody had pointed out on Twitter that it looks like John Gruden basically has like a 5-year plan that he's going to use step by step. And that looks like it's kind of true. And they also pointed out that it looks like John Gruden just doesn't think this team is ready right now. Which, okay, but you still traded the top 5 D. And keep in mind, that wasn't them using an excuse for Gruden. That was them saying, John Gruden doesn't think this team is there right now, and that's stupid. Which, I kind of agree with that. And people have even come out and said, like, hey, where are all those people who supported John Gruden coming back to the Bucs? And I supported John Gruden coming back to the Bucs, but I'm hiding now because he's scary and insane. He's lost his mind. So, you know, I think John Gruden has a plan in his head, and nobody is going to derive him from that plan. No player, you know, no matter how good they are, no matter how much money they want, regardless, you know, it's John Gruden's way till the very end, until they fire him. It'll be his roster, it's his team, whatever he says goes, and everybody should be put on notice, basically. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments section below. Do you think that the Bears won this trade? Do you think that the Raiders won this trade? Why do you think the Bears won this trade? Because quite honestly, the Raiders did not win this trade. They'll never win this trade. Oh, it's nuts. So yeah, let me know what you think about all this down in the comments section below. I'm going to be making another video talking about the Buccaneers 53-man roster, cut moves, and whatnot. And I might be doing a live stream about that, so it should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm going to go quickly get it edited and get it put up. Go check out my Twitter. Go check out my Instagram, my Facebook, the Patreon. You know, go check out all of it so we just can continue to pump out Bucs content at a regular pace. It should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions for videos, again, leave those down in the comment section below as well. And, yeah, you know, I should be doing a live stream soon. It should be a lot of fun talking about Bucs moves. Should be great. Should be great. I'm just blown away by this move. Seriously, it is a stunner. It's literally a stunner. I have no idea. The NFC North is doomed. they're just doomed. So I don't know. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. But until then, and as always, goodbye for now, and go Bucks.